Welcome back to the Live Bigger podcast, where I deliver weekly short episodes with insights and actions to help you break the mold and start living bigger. I'm your host, Alex Lynette. Let's get into it. So there's a lot going on in my life right now, a lot of big changes, positive changes. So I've kind of been reflecting on this past year and everything I've done and everything that's happened that's led me to this point. And today I'm just going to be sharing some of those things that have been running through my mind in hopes that maybe it could help you get to that place that you want to go. So what does just start mean? I say it all the time. I hear other creators say it. I hear other business owners say it. To me, really, it means just rip off the Band-Aid. Whatever it is that you want to do, whether that's starting a business or just any major goal in life, it could be, travel, it could be a relationship, whatever it may be, just start. You might think, okay, I want to be at step 17, right? There's 17 steps to get there, but you don't know that yet. You just know, I want to get to this point. The first thing to do is that first step. What can you do to just get started? And I know that sounds so simple, but it's also so difficult because you have to be able to have the courage and the desire to actually take that first step. And once you do that, every other subsequent door will start to reveal itself. The entrepreneurial path or the path of greatness is not the path that everybody takes. It's not the path that you see before you. It's usually just that one initial step. And then it's kind of like a sci-fi movie, like, okay, the next step all of a sudden reveals itself, and then the next, and then the next. And then maybe you'll have to pivot or take one step back to be able to take 2 steps forward. But you won't know any of that. Nothing will be shown to you. Nothing will make sense until you take that first step. And it doesn't matter. You don't need to know everything. All you need to know is that you're following that gut instinct or that passion or that desire and living in your purpose. And then everything else will start making sense. Everything else will start falling into alignment. It's about being true to yourself, being true to your path, being true to whatever that thing is inside of you that you just know deep down. You're like, this is it. I have to do this. And you'll know if it's for you. You'll know if it's right, if it's scary, and if you don't know how to get there. It's just this giant leap of faith, and then everything else will start coming together. And especially in terms of entrepreneurship, I can't even explain to you, it is the biggest, fastest, most hardcore form of personal development. I'm not talking about just, reading books and becoming a better person. Like entrepreneurship or business ownership or the less beaten path, it will challenge you in every single way. It'll challenge you in ways that you couldn't even imagine. And you have no choice but to just deal with it and learn as you go. So there's no way around it. You just have to go straight through it. It helps you with building willpower, doing things that you don't necessarily want to do. It helps you with your confidence, your resilience. When things fall apart, you have to get back up and just keep pushing. You have to rely on yourself. You have to be comfortable being alone. Maybe, people won't understand you. People might not support you, but you can just rely on yourself and you know that what you're doing is the right thing and that you're okay with doing it completely on your own. It helps you be comfortable being uncomfortable. Everything will be screaming at you and you just have to accept everything for what it is and keep moving forward. It's like, for example, okay, so I want to start a business. What's the first thing I have to do, right? Okay, come up with a business plan and then start a website. Okay, well, I don't know how to use this website. Well, then you have to either hire someone to do the website or figure it out on your own. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm going to start a podcast. I don't know anything about technical equipment. So then you have to learn about that and then upgrade your camera, then get a mic. then focus on your marketing, then work on your social media. And you just keep going and growing. And if you're comfortable, you're not going anywhere. You're not growing, you're not learning. When you're comfortable just being uncomfortable and just everything's on fire around you, nothing can get in your way. Everything just comes out easy. And once you start on that path, that doesn't mean that that's your forever path. You can always pivot. You can always change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind. I started out my entrepreneurial journey on a social media management company. I started doing digital marketing, and I was doing websites and social media and that whole realm. And then it kind of just naturally transformed into marketing and business consulting. And then I kind of started noticing like conversations just started getting into mindset and all the things that it takes. And so then all of a sudden I was like, okay, cool, do digital marketing for myself, but focus on the mindset piece. And then instead of just business and being an entrepreneur, that also turned into like personal development and different things. So it's okay to pivot and change your mind. The second you say that you can't do something, you've just accepted defeat. When you start letting those self-limiting beliefs get in your way, you've lost. Don't even start, don't try. It's over for you. You have to be delusional. You have to believe in yourself. If you can believe in yourself and know that no matter what happens, you can keep pushing, then nothing can stop you. You will literally be undefeatable because you're gonna fall down, you're gonna struggle, and if you can just get back up and keep going and going and going, even if you fail 99 times, if you don't quit, you're gonna get to that one time where you win, and it'll make everything else worth it. Self-sabotage, my favorite topic, because I used to be really good at it. So not only do you have the self-limiting beliefs that you have to get over, but the reason we self-sabotage, there's two reasons. Either you're scared that it'll work out, or you're scared you don't deserve it. And you have to wrap your mind around why you're doing that. Why are you self-sabotaging? Why don't you believe you deserve it? Why are you scared of everything working out? Most people think it's the fear of failing. I used to think that way. But what I realized was I wasn't scared of failing. I was scared of succeeding. I was scared of doing well and then having to uphold that level of perfectionism or winning, and that I couldn't ever let myself down from that point once I've achieved it. And also, I was scared of other people's opinions of me failing. And so I had to kind of overcome all of that. And I'm not saying that all of a sudden you're just over it and you move forward, but it definitely helps you continue going and growing. And I get it, trust me. It comes down to just protecting yourself. If you win, or if you get that thing that you want, let's say a relationship, for example, it works out, everything's going great. Then what happens if you fail? What if you guys break up? It hurts. Or your business is going well, you're succeeding, and then you lose everything. It sucks. But you can't let that get in the way of going after your dreams or going after succeeding, because it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. And whatever happens, you're still gonna learn so much from it anyways, and it's gonna make you stronger for that next time or that next thing that you're gonna do. I used to be a complete pessimist, and I lied to myself and I disguised myself as a realist. I always wanted to hope for the best, but expect the worst, prepare for the worst, because then there was no surprises. I couldn't be let down. And then it started transitioning. Once I stopped putting all those self-limiting beliefs, once I stopped self-sabotaging, now I am completely delusional. I believe in myself so much. I'm not saying there's days where I don't feel all the pressure and I start crumbling and I have to remind myself that I can do it, because it's gonna happen. And I think it's gonna happen forever. But I've just realized that my life is built around delusion, dreams, and just possibilities. Like, instead of thinking like, what if this doesn't work out? What if I can't do it? Everything is always, oh my gosh, like, why couldn't I do it? Why wouldn't it work out? What is stopping me? Nothing. I could literally pack my stuff and go to the other side of the world on a trip. That's literally what I'm doing right now. I packed up my stuff, put it in storage. I am going to Thailand for a month. I could move to the UK tomorrow. I could say, you know what? I'm getting out of here. I'm moving. I could start another business tomorrow. Just say, okay, this is something that I want to do and start working towards it. There's nothing stopping you. You can literally do anything that you want. There's over 5 billion people on social media right now, which means there could literally be over 5 billion businesses. Anyone could start a social media channel and start marketing something. There is a market for anything. There's a market for children's toys, for gardening, for social media, for cooking, for baking, for personal development, for business coaching. Anything you can think of, there's a market out there. If the lottery was free and you had the chance to get a ticket for free with the chance to win, whatever the jackpot is, $500 million, would you do it? Of course you would do it. It's free. You have nothing to lose and so much to gain. And social media has set us up for that exactly. Anyone can go on and start a social media, start a business. And I know it's not for everyone and not everyone's going to do that, but anyone can be a blogger. Anyone can be a podcaster. Anyone can become a social media influencer. Whatever it is that you want to do, you're capable because the barriers to entry have basically completely diminished. The only thing stopping you is you. You have to get out of your mind, get out of your own way, and decide that you want better and you're going to do anything it takes to get there. That is literally all it takes. On the other hand, you also don't want to worry too much about the future, whether positive or negative. I heard someone talk about this recently. It's called future tripping. So anxiety is just fear of what's going to happen in the future or being stuck in the future. And future tripping is when you start getting anxious and you start stressing because you're worried about what's going to happen. And you have to be able to stay in the present, focus on the present, still hope for the best, still prepare for worst case scenarios, but don't get stuck in the future. Live in the present and do what you can today to get where you want to be. Life only makes sense in hindsight. You look back and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that day that I met this person, or the day that I started posting on social media, or the day that I quit that job, or I got fired from this job, or I connected with this person, whatever it may be. In that moment, it might not make sense. Looking at the future tripping, it might not make sense. But then when we look at the past and we're like, oh my gosh, of course this was gonna happen because it led to this. All the puzzle pieces came together and now you can see it oh, this was all supposed to happen. This one step, that first step that you took, led me to step 17. And sometimes you just have to take wild leaps of faith and be optimistic and know that you're capable of doing all the things that you want to do. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in your head. It wouldn't be in your heart. You are fully capable of living up to your highest potential, following every single dream. You can be the business owner. You can fall in love. You can move to another country. You can travel the world. You can do anything you want to do. The first step is just deciding that you want to do it, setting up a plan to get there, and taking the first step. And everything might not work out the way that you expect or the way that you want, but it's all for a reason. It's all leading you in the right direction. That path just might pivot a little or might do a loop. It's not a straight line. I promise you that. You're gonna go back and forth a little bit. You're gonna go up and down. You're gonna do a couple spirals, but at the end of the day, everything's gonna lead you to where you need to go. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me. If you got any value from this episode today, please comment, subscribe, send to a friend, share on your social media. It's greatly appreciated. It helps me get this brand new channel out to new people. Until next time, get out of your own head. Stop playing small, break the mold. Don't be afraid to live bigger.